Hey Capricorn, this is your semi-biweekly reading, and we are looking at the period of time from the new moon in Virgo on September 14th in tropical astrology to the full moon in Aries in tropical astrology on the 29th. So, is it that one? Yep, it was that one. So what we are doing in these readings is we are concentrating on how we can best utilize the undercurrent of energy that occurs every single month. It's very stable. So in the same way that the sun rises and sets and is stable in that sense, every single day, every month, we have an approximate 2-week period of time where the energy of the moon creates a building and a waxing and a making full and thick and large and expanded and building momentum type of energy. And then the other half of the month, we have this waning energy where it's like, okay, what needs to now get released? And released not in a bad way. It can be like releasing a project, launching, right? Like what needs to get released, what needs to get edited out, what's still serving, what isn't, cleaning house. It's like that. Now, whatever's happening with the astrology, because astrology can get really complicated, those undercurrents are there every single month for us to take advantage of. And so these readings are here to help us navigate those particular periods of time so that we can be sure that we are working with it to our best advantage, because why not, right? Interesting. So in this particular reading, we are looking at the new to full moon. So we are looking at that waxing phase of energy, and in this particular reading, these are short, sweet bites. If you want a longer, extensive reading, you can go look at the monthly readings, which go over the beginning, middle, end of the month challenges and spiritual advice. So this is more like, okay, your guides, the universe, whoever it is that you believe in, is like circling, pointing arrows at and saying, hey, this is the area that we see. If you put your energy, time, and attention into this, this is the linchpin that will unlock and ripple effect into all of these other areas of your life. So those concentric circle ripples that will happen. So this is what we're saying is what we're seeing is being said to pay attention to, right? Because often we'll have like something that we're working on, like career, for instance, because we're talking about Capricorns. Why not? Let's talk about something stereotypical for Capricorns, which is career, right? So we're focused on career and building that. Well, you might have something show up that says, hey, you need to pay attention to your home environment, and getting that cleared up or getting some things unstuck there will actually just by default open up the pathways for your career space, right? So just wanting to keep that in mind, even if this particular area we're talking about isn't necessarily the area that you're like focused on right now, it would be an area that is saying, hey, this will benefit what you're ultimately trying to build. So now that that's clear, we're taking a look at the 12th house, right? Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about this. You know, when it comes to the 12th house, we are looking at the subconscious. We are looking at what is all oneness melding into the spiritual oneness of the universe. And we are looking at nature, and we are looking at altered states of consciousness, and we are looking at mental health and solitude. And on the flip side, when it's in a shadow space, we are looking at addictions, and addictions aren't necessarily just substance-based. This can be addictions to food, addiction to meditation. Meditation is a form of escape, you know, like everything that we have in our life. And maybe there are a few exceptions that I'm not thinking of in this moment, but everything is basically like a medicine or a poison. Some things that are meant to be medicines in excess turn into a poison, right? And some things that are poisonous in minimal amounts can be medicine and healing, right? So this is something to understand. And this can be meditation, it can be food, it can be substances, it can be whatever it is. People who do ceremonial medicine journeys, I think that's beautiful and expansive and amazing. And also when it's not integrated and people do it consistently over and over again without taking the time to integrate, it becomes a form of escape. So look in your life at where you need to be paying attention to. Are you in escapism, or are you in a place of healthy, like, evaluation, healthy growth, healthy connection to your spirituality, right? Are you taking time out of your schedule from business, friends, relationships, whatever, to have some time, like some solace, like time to yourself, time either in nature, time in like in a meditation spot in your house, whatever it is, time to yourself, time to journal, whatever, because that's healthy. Like, I don't care if you have like the love of your life and your business is going amazingly well and your friendship circles are fantastic. You still need to have time to yourself. So this is important. This is what's healthy for us. So are you doing that? Or are you, like on the flip side, are you in a space of seclusion and isolation and closing off and being too guarded and not allowing things to come in, right? Like there's the flip side, and the 12th house is a really deep karmic, very sensitive, very watery, very spiritual, very elusive, can be dark kind of house, right? So there are just really beautiful benefits to it, but also just a really shadowy aspects of this house. So any or all of that speaks to you, and it can be all of it. It doesn't have to be either or. Whatever speaks to you, this is where you need to be putting your time, energy, and attention into evaluating. It's for 2 weeks. Who can't do something for 2 weeks? Well, I guess it depends, actually. There are definitely things that I've committed to where I don't make it 2 weeks. So I think better said is it's 2 weeks. It's not so much time. I think we have a better chance of focusing our time, energy, and attention for 2-week increments than we do necessarily for like, this is what I'm going to do for the next 3 months, right? So that said, your spiritual advice is to not be the here today, gone tomorrow type energy person. So whether that is with friendships, like not being a fair weather friend where you're like, oh yeah, man, like, no, totally, we'll hang out. Or like, yeah, I'm here for you. And then you disappear when things get hard, right? Or like you're here today, you're gone tomorrow, and then you don't talk to them for 3 months, right? That kind of a thing. Or in relationships, hey, look, I'm just going to say like the shadow side of this card is being a fuckboy. Whether you are a woman, man, non-binary, however you identify, right? Like whatever it is, being that kind of person, being that person, the fuckboy energy, like that's like, don't be that person either. Like this is like your spiritual advice is coming through and being like, hey, don't be that person. Also, make sure that you take time. Like, yes, we're in a waxing phase. Yes, we're in a building phase, but that doesn't mean rush headlong into the fray and not consider your steps more carefully. I'm not saying to stop or completely or to like get stuck or to go too slowly. I'm saying the advice here is, hey, give it a little bit more thought. I know that you're passionate about things. I know you want to get things going. I know you want to make things happen. I know you want to build that fire, especially we come to the end of this cycle that we're talking about into the full moon in Aries. That's some fiery energy, right? Like that's a pinnacle point, a culmination point of some fiery ass energy. So yeah, maybe you want to be in that space, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being like passionate and driven, and you want to go and you want to make things happen, and like, all right, enough planning. It's time to like pull a trigger and do. And for some of you, that will make sense and you'll know when to do that. And for others of you, I would say, you know what? Like, I'm not saying don't pull the trigger. I'm saying take a little more time to aim. Like, you know, be sure. I'm not saying don't aim within this 2-week period of time. I'm saying be a little bit more sure. Take another extra breath before you actually, you know, pull that trigger, right? So that's what I'm saying here. So I hope this is helpful and insightful in some way. Look at this in the context of your month reading, you know, see how this fits in, see if that resonates with you. Obviously, it's a collective reading. If you want to really get specific, a one-to-one reading is what I recommend, whether that's with someone else or with me. If you do it with me, information is down below for how to do that. If this was insightful, please like the video. It does help me with the algorithm gods. And also subscribe while you're at it. Why not hit the notification bell so you don't miss videos like this and the other things I have planned on the horizon. For those of you who do watch me for the astrology highlights, just know that I will be caught up for next month. So we'll be back to our regularly scheduled everything for next month. Just for those of you that don't know, my dad was in Lahaina fires, lost everything. My mom needed help. I was officiating a wedding out of state. It's just been a lot. So if you want astrological highlights video for the rest of this month, best way to get those are going to be in small little snippets. So if you're following me here, then they will be in shorts here on YouTube. Otherwise, on Instagram or on TikTok, those are the places to get them, especially for the rest of this month, because I will really only have time to do little snippets to try and catch up. So that's what I've got for you. Thank you for your time. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.